comparing it to the German Reisepassport. Why do I keep saying Reisepassport? Hey guys, what's up? It's Kelly again, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Before I even get into the video, I just want to pitch to you guys to go ahead and click subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet. It's really easy. You just click the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything, and you will get notification for every single time I post a sweet video that will come to you straight via your computer, tablet, mobile phone, or other device that you view things on. So for this video, I present to you the most patriotic item I own, which you might think would be my American flag sunglasses or perhaps my American flag sweatpants. Yes, I do own both of those things because I am your classic American basic girl. I'm not necessarily proud of that. But no, it is my US passport, and I'll show you guys what's inside of this, and I will be comparing it to the German Reisepass, which is the German passport. So right off the bat, you can tell they're entirely different colors. We've got blue for the US passport and this dark red for the German passport. I'm sure you guys can see that with your eyes. The US passport just says passport, and then it says United States of America, and it has the little emblem icon here, which shows that it is a biometric document. And the German passport says European Union in German, of course. It says Bundesrepublik Deutschland, the Republic of Germany, and it says Reisepass, which I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And it's also got this little icon denoting that it is a biometric document. Oh, we've also got the US passport has the Great Seal of the US, which is a bald eagle with an olive branch and some arrows, and it has a lot of symbology behind it that I'm not going to go over. And then there is the coat of arms for the German passport, which is their eagle. This is my boyfriend's old passport, and you know it's an old passport because it actually has this cut taken out of it right here, so that anybody looking at it or trying to scan it or whatever would know immediately that this thing is expired or no longer in use for whatever reason. I tried to find my old passport and couldn't, but from what I remember, the way that we denote that it is no longer a passport within use is that we punch a hole right here through the important stuff that if anyone was trying to scan, they would notice it. And I think actually the hole also will go through the cover itself. Okay, so when you first open up the US passport, guys, I'm not kidding, this thing is so patriotic. Like, it's really pretty insane. Every time I look at it, I'm just like, okay. So we have the beginning of our national anthem over here with a very patriotic scene. We've got the background with like the red and white stripes, again with our seal, and it says, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people shall not perish from the earth, which is a very well-known quote from Abraham Lincoln, our 16th president. And then it is translated in both French and Spanish, okay? So in the German passport, on the first page, they've got their coat of arms again, and then it has European Union written in like every single language. I mean, it's not every language, guys, I get it, but it's a lot of languages. And then it says Bundesrepublik Deutschland. That's also translated into many, many different languages. And then Reisepass, which means passport. Again, translated into a lot of different languages. Okay, so when you go to the next page, again, guys, so patriotic. We've got We the People, and it has the flag and the eagle and all of these symbols that mean a lot to the US history. And it has my signature here. And then it has all of my important information that you would need for identity purposes, and I covered the important stuff with duct tape. But it has the type of passport. P, I'm guessing, means it's a tourist passport. It has my name, what my nationality is. It has my date of birth, the state I was born in, which is Colorado. Love Colorado. It has the date of issue, the date of expiration, that I'm a female, and it obviously, most importantly, has my picture. The German passport on the next page has a similar little setup. It's a lot darker than ours, I feel like. Like whenever my boyfriend handed this to me, I was like, is this like a relic? Like, this thing looks really old, but it's not. And this is not me making fun of the German passport, guys, okay? This is just my observations. Everybody calm down. So it's got his photo right here. It also has type of passport. It's also P. It's got to mean tourist passport. It has his name. It has that he's German, that he's male, his place of birth, but actually it just has the city, which is interesting to me because he was not born in Germany, but yet it still only has the city, not the city and country, whereas mine has both the state and the country, which is Colorado's in the US, if you did not know. It has the date of issue, the date of expiration. Over here, it says the city that it was issued in, which was Magdeburg. And on this page right here, so whereas ours is just like my signature, his signature, by the way, would be right here. I covered it up in duct tape. On this page, it has this stamp that says Mainz, and then it has city Mainz stamp right there. And I asked him why that is, and he told me that every time you move to a new city in Germany, you're supposed to go and have that updated in your passport, which I found really interesting because we don't do that in the US. We just have place of birth. It doesn't even say, I got this passport when I was living in Texas, and nowhere on here does it even say that I got the passport in Texas. So that's a pretty big difference. And it has his eye color here and his height, which that is on our driver's licenses in the US, but it's not on our passports. So earlier I mentioned that ours is translated into, it's English, and then it's French, and then it's Spanish. With his passport, it is in German, and then it's in English, and then it's in French. On the next page of my passport, we've got personal data and emergency contact, which I did not fill out at all. And then it kind of tells you some rules regarding the passport. And this is where you start seeing quotes on every single page that are, referencing the U.S. history. So it says, the principle of free governments adheres to the American soil. It is embedded in it, immovable as its mountains, by Daniel Webster. So that's what you start seeing on every single page, is like an extremely patriotic quote spanning across the two pages. You don't find that in the German passport. It's much more straightforward and less, less patriotic. We'll just say that, which is very indicative of Germany compared to the US. So on his next page, it looks like it just has some more information about where it was and when it was issued. Then he has a bunch of information regarding the passport, and it is translated into many different languages again. Okay, so on my passport, on the 8th page is where you start getting to where all the passport stamps are. And like I said, the quotes that are on every single page, and then you'll have this American scene in the background of some city or something, like the Eagles, something that represents the US or maybe a specific location. Whereas in Germany, it's just the exact same every single time. It's this coat of arms eagle that you see. And just a side note about visas is I've heard that the German passport is stronger than the US passport, which is completely true. So as of May 2018, there are 188 countries that a German passport will be able to admit the German citizen into without a visa, whereas I can only get into 166 countries without a visa. So that's a pretty significant difference, 22 different countries if I'm doing math right. I call it math. My boyfriend reminds me that it's counting when it's just simple subtraction and addition. So my passport, actually have quite a few passport stamps. I've been really, really fortunate to be able to do as much travel as I have, both for work and just my normal life. So it is quite quickly filling up, and I know that I'm able to basically get additional pages for the passport without having to get an entirely new passport, and that will make this thing like extremely thick. I might have to look at doing that. I'm not sure if Germans have that option. I would assume so, but I don't know. So if you're German and you're watching this, can you let me know what happens if you were to like fill up all of the stamp space, little visa space in your passport? Oh, another thing I just remembered when I was looking at the little biometric symbol is that I was always flying into Frankfurt Airport when I lived in Germany, because I lived in the city Mainz, which was only like 20 minutes away from the airport, which was really lucky. And every time I would come back from traveling wherever, I would get in this huge snaking long line of people that are trying to get into Germany, and they're waiting for their passport stamp from border security. And I was always so jealous looking to my left and seeing all the EU citizens being able to just take their passport, you know, like I said, it's biometric, and have it scanned at these automatic machines. And that's all they had to do to get admitted, assuming there were no issues with their passports. They didn't have to get them stamped or anything, which is, a pretty big benefit of being an EU citizen, is just having that more freedom of travel between EU countries. Alright guys, that's all I've got for you today. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up. It helps me out so much. If you guys have any other things that I've missed regarding the differences between the two passports, or more information about one or the other, I was trying to keep it light and not so technical and boring. I'm sure that there is so much more information out there, especially about the history between the two documents. I just find it interesting how different they are, despite the fact that they're for the exact same purpose. Thank you so much to all of my patrons. You guys are awesome for giving me the support you've given me. And if you're interested in my Patreon campaign, check out the link. I'll put it in the description below. All right, guys, I'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Bye.